Yo, make sure to like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds, then you have the best luck of your life.
Yo, what's good guys? Alright, so in today's video I go over two of my endgames in Arena. I pretty much go over why I do certain things and how I rotate an endgame. One more thing before the video starts is if we can hit 1,000 supporter creator code users, that would be insane. We literally just hit 700. I've never had that many supporters. Creator code the shot alone in the item shop. Thank y'all for the support. Much love. Enjoy the video. Peace. Yo, alright, so first things first. You always want to try to go as center zone as you can. Right here, I have a free rotation. No one's around me, so I can push them as far as I can. But if there was people in front of me, usually I would just try to push up as close as I could before they shoot me. Because obviously I don't want to get shot. Always try to go center zone. Once you're center zone, you're chilling. I see two big rocks right next to each other, so I'm like, alright, this is a good spot. This is center zone, kind of. So I decided to build two 1x1s next to it. Another good thing about building center zone is that you don't have to worry about the next zone. Let's say you're not in next zone, since you're center zone, you don't really have to rotate that far just to get into it. Whereas if you decided to box up at the edge of zone, and let's say it pulled across the map, the next zone, it would be so much more of a problem for you to rotate. When you're already centered, it makes it so much easier for the next zone to rotate to. I spot this player leaving his 1x1, so I immediately drop down into my box, and I decide to try to go for a beam. Unfortunately though, I take shots at him and I only hit once. It's whatever though, it's all good. But since I'm confident enough, I decide to box up right next to him and just box fight him. If you can get a kill endgame and you win that fight, it can be so huge. So I shoot his cone just because I'm not sure if he's in there. Always, when you walk up to someone's 1x1, always shoot their cone. Because you don't know if they're hiding in their cone. Shoot their cone, and then quickly reset your wall just in case they pop out and try to shotgun you. But then I realize he's below his 1x1, so I go back into my 1x1, and I try to take his wall. I take his wall. He places a wall, and I take it and put a cone in his box. I pop him for 100, and then I finish him off with a 100. That pretty much just gives me a huge advantage overall. I get free mats, I get extra floppers if I need them, and I get extra ammo. Having a ton of extra mats endgame can help so much. It pretty much gives you an opportunity to have that extra land. A benefit of having a lot of room space to work with in endgame is you have so many views to get extra kills. And another thing is, if someone pushes you endgame and you have all these boxes around you that are yours, it's so easy to defend yourself and just run away and heal up and do all this stuff that eventually the player will back off because it's too risky for them to keep on fighting you when none of those edits are theirs. As you can see, zone's about to close now and I'm already hiding in my cone. Hiding in a cone makes it so much easier just to see where players are around you and which paths you can take to rotate through. Zone forms and I notice that it's across the map, but I can use the water for my advantage just to get there quicker. I get shot, but I immediately build just so I don't get any damage taken. Fortunately, I get tagged again for 50, but it's all fine. I box up and I make two boxes. I notice that I have my wood out just for protection, but as soon as I start building, I switch over to metal just so it's safer for me to start drinking my big pot. If you're gonna heal up, it's better to build out of hard mats. I notice I'm not in zone yet, so I start building above this one player who's in a box. The reason why I decided to build my 1x1 above this other player that's right next to me is because it allows me to see more things. Than if I was to build my 1x1 below him, I wouldn't really be able to see anything. Okay, so right here I'm picking through my cone, and I notice someone starting to spray a minigun. And I turn around, and I realize there's a dude that's really scuffed trying to rotate into zone. So I aim my AR, and I tag him for 100. I know he's weak and he's getting sprayed by other players, so I decide to focus him too with them. Maybe I can get the extra kill. Then I notice he has grappler, and then I think to myself, if I can get grappler, that can pretty much just win me the game right there and then. So I decide to build up while he's getting focused, and I just pop him in the back for a free sky scar and a grappler. This is such a huge impact on my game, just because having the grappler saves so much mass to rotate with. Zone's about to start closing right now, and since I have grappler, I decided just to go first. I'm like, alright, I have grappler. If I can get ahead of zone, then I'm chilling. I notice that the zone is going up the hill. So I'm like, okay, if I can get height with this grappler, I'm pretty much winning the game. Having height with Sky's Scar and the grappler is pretty much an easy win if you know what you're doing. I notice this player starts jump heading at me. So I'm like, okay, I need to get him at least weak so he boxes up and he's scared of me. Because if I don't tag him, then he's going to build up and try to take my height. And it'll result in me wasting mats and maybe even wasting hills. But I notice a player is trying to come up the hill. So I immediately focus on that one player because that's such an easy kill since the zone is going up the hill and that player has to go all the way up. Which results in me beaming him, he falls into the storm and he dies. And I get a free kill. So it's pretty much just a 1v1 now. And all I gotta do is pretty much pressure this player the whole time. I follow him, I start spraying his builds. Since I know he has a minigun, I already know he's gonna try to spray me at one point. And as soon as he does that, I pop him for 100. And that pretty much what he's doing is he's panicking now. He has to heal up. So I'm like, okay, I can't let him ring shields. So I immediately start spraying him. I don't let him heal. I grappled forward zone. And he's inside a storm, and it's just an easy dub because he has no mats. I made him waste his mats by spraying him. I made him waste his mats by him panicking. It was such an easy win. GG's. Then I hear Sky's grappling next to me. The thing is, if you're boxed up in arena in a 14-15 man lobby, you're gonna get W keyed. In this case, this player starts building up on me. I already know he's gonna W key me. But since I'm hiding in my cone, again, hiding in a cone is such a huge advantage. He doesn't know I'm in the cone, so he builds above me. He boxes himself and he immediately starts pickaxing my cone. Since I'm already in there, he's gonna be caught off guard, which allows me to 200 pump him and pretty much get free shark loot, just like that. If you get free shark loot, you pretty much can win any game, especially in a solo arena game. The thing about arena is, it's not gonna be stacked like a cash cup or a scrim. People think they're supposed to be stacked like 60 players endgame. No. Arena champions, everybody W keys. No matter what server you are, everybody W keys. The reason why lower divisions have more people is because they're playing so passive because they're trying to make it into champs. Meanwhile, everybody in champs is only going for clips, so they W key, which results in a deader lobby. So right now, basically, there's a player coming out of zone because he finished fighting in storm. So I just quickly grapple over to him and I pretty much beam him and it's over. That's how OP Sky Scar is, if I can just end like that. So I start rotating to zone. Unfortunately, I get beamed though, but it's okay. Since I have the grappler, I pretty much can just disengage right away. I know where the campfires are because I know pretty much every spot on the map, and knowing your spots can be so huge just like this. Yeah, I don't land here, but I know where everything's at. So knowing where this campfire is pretty much just helps me with my health and gets me back up there. Players start harpooning my walls, but I know that I can get more health off the campfire and drink minis, so I do that. And I don't want to risk dying. I want to get my big pet off, so I decide to just go as far as I can away from him. And I decide to grapple onto a hill where there's already a base built above. Just in case that player that was trying to kill me pushes at me, the player above me more than likely will focus him. And of course, the player who beat me doesn't follow me and he backs off. So zone appears and the first thing I do is I mark zone. It's always important to know where zone's at. And one of the easiest things you can do for zone is just mark it, just so you know where it's at yourself. So again, of course, I hide in my cone. Before I rotate, I take note that there's a player above me in builds. And since there's not that much cover for me to rotate to zone, usually I would wait for the person above me to rotate first, just so I can go behind them. Because if I was to rotate first, I would just maybe get beamed by him and people already in zone. I see this player start rotating, so I'm like, okay, maybe I can get a beam, but unfortunately I don't see him. The tree's blocking, so I'm like, okay, it's all good. But I do have a launch pad though, so I decided to flat launch. A flat launch is when you edit your cone, not fully, just so you glide really low and it's really hard for enemies to beam you out of the sky. Flat launching is pretty much the method you can use to launch, especially in Endgames. Unfortunately for that guy, he pretty much just gets beamed out of the sky. Since I have Sky's grapple, I'm like, okay, that's pretty much free mats. It's a refresh for me. I can get maybe shields, health, and mats from it. So I decide to do it, and I block off so I don't get shot from the opponents. and it's 100% worth it. And I get full big pots, so 100% a W. So zone's pretty much about to close, and immediately I start getting focused by different people. Just so I don't get focused again by the whole lot, I decide to build more boxes. But I don't panic, because if you panic, that's pretty much how you can instantly die. Panicking can screw you over your game so fast. Never panic, always stay calm. And notice how I use hard mats, especially metal. If you have a metal box endgame, the chances of you getting sprayed at are really low. Luckily, the zone starts pulling my way, so everybody has to rotate my way. I notice this player is building at a brick next to me, so I just immediately start pressuring him, just to give him a harder time. If I can give my opponents a harder time endgame, it'll make the game easier for me. I start rotating to zone. With grappler, it's so OP. I try to go for a high play, and the dude just starts building up. So I decide, no, okay, I'm not gonna go for height. I'm just gonna beam before rotating. So I look back in zone and I get an easy beam, which results in me getting a free kill. If you're gonna use Sky's grappler, always make sure to cover your head. Take note how I'm always looking at height though, just so I know when there's a good chance for me to go for height. I noticed that the player in height launch pads, it pretty much gives me an okay to build for height. Once I'm certain I have height, I start spraying him, I shotgun him, and then I shotgun him again, and GG, he's dead. The player below me thinks that I'm still fighting him. I hit him for 60, I edit down, he's unaware that I already edited down, I'm right behind him, and that results in me one-pumping him and winning the game. It's as easy as that. And then I just start flexing my free builds here, just for the boys. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. If you want me to make more videos like this, where I just talk over my gameplay and I explain why I do these certain things, let me know if you want me to do more of those. If you have any other ideas or what type of videos I should do, let me know down in the comments below. I appreciate all the support, guys. 100k on the way, it's honestly insane. Thank you for watching the video. Peace out.